Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane, and today we are going through the Vuelta España 2024, which saw Primož Roglič crowned for the fourth time in his career and getting a victory with his new team of Redbull Bora Hansgrohe. Nevertheless, as we know, in the race itself there are a lot of opportunities for the riders to earn money in every single stage and also to gain fines, as Primož Roglič learned as well. But of course the biggest funding pots come in the form of stage wins, general classification positions as well, and the jerseys themselves. Before we go into the top 10, let's just have a note of who didn't do so well of the teams. At the bottom we find Bahrain victorious, who didn't have a great Vuelta España, with Antonio Tiberi having a bit of bad luck. Intermarché Wanty as well were not very successful in this one as well, and equally Astana Kazakhstan team and Cofidis, and all four of those teams notably also World Tour teams. So the Pro Continental teams doing a lot better. The lowest Pro Continental team was Euskaltel-Euskadi, and the best Pro Continental team, we'll talk about them later. And also two teams that won't be in the list as well, Soudal Quickstep and Ineos Grenadiers, who both had disappointing prize money totals. But nevertheless, coming into the top 10, we start with the team that won the final stage, and that is Groupama-FDJ, who had a total of 48,375 euros, and that was broken down by David Gaudu taking the most money with 19,160 euros, and Stefan Kung with that stage win 17,485. David Gaudu, of course, the best rider in 6th place, and a bit of a return to form from him, and also finished second on stage 19. Not a bad position for the French team. And in 9th place we have Jayco-AlUla with 52,415 euros, and that principally came down to Eddie Dunbar with 28,530 after the Irishman took a stage win on stage 11 and on stage 20, and overall he finished 11th. Equally, Mauro Schmid also managed to get 15,555 after having a number of top 10 placings. On stage 1, stage 12 he was 4th, stage 13 he was 2nd, and 5th on the final time trial, so not bad from Mauro Schmid. Next on the list was Lidl-Trek, who have been very good in the Grand Tours this year, and they managed to account for 52,495 euros, and this principally came down to what Matthias Kjellmoes-Jensen managed to amount 31,870 from the Dane, after finishing 5th overall and winning the white jersey classification as well, becoming the first Dane to do so. Matthias Vacek as well, who was very close to the stage win on stage 1, also managed to rack up 15,410 euros for the team, so not bad. Coming in at number 7 is the home team of Movistar, who traditionally do very well at the Vuelta España. They got 54,525 euros, with their principal scorer being Enric Mas with 47,930 euros, and that coming down to him finishing 3rd place, also finishing 2nd on stage 8 and 2nd on stage 20. Not too bad for the Spanish star. Movistar probably would have wanted more from Aina Rubio and Oyo Lozcano, who had a bit of a low total, both of them, and even Paleo Sanchez as well, but they did very well at the Giro. Next, in 6th place, is the highest finishing team in the Pro Continental ranks, and that's Equipo, Kern, Pharma, which had an incredible total of 63,700 euros. And even when we look at this breaks down to Pablo Castrillo, who is going to Ineos Grenadiers, with 32,500 euros. Of course, that came in the way of his 2-stage victories on stage 12 and on stage 15, and also his teammate Berada, who took the stage win on stage 18. Moving on, Alpecin-Deceuninck, who came here with Caden Groves, managed to rack up a substantial total of 66,835 euros, and this principally came down to Caden Groves' 54,080 euros, with Quinten Hermans 6,600 euros, and Caden Groves' total, of course, is made up of his 3-stage wins and the points classification as well. Next we have team Visma-Lease bike, who of course dominated last year, finishing clean on the podium, occupying the top 3 positions. This year they got 79,548 euros. And if we look at the total, this is principally from Wout van Aert, who unfortunately did crash out prematurely of the race, but he did manage to rack up 3 stage wins along the way and finishing second on stage 2 and second on stage 14 as well. But what more could have been for the Belgian rider? In total, he racked up 60,630 euros, whilst last year's winner of Sepp Kuss unfortunately didn't place as high as he probably would have wanted, finishing 14th overall. Now coming into the final 3, and the 3rd place team is Decathlon AG2R La Mondiale team that netted 99,020 euros. Not a bad total from the team, who were principally rallied around Ben O'Connor, who is also responsible for the major stake of that prize money with 82,700 euros. And of course this came down to his 2nd place, and he was able to win a stage as well on stage 6, where he was given a huge leeway by many of the favorites and is one of the best performances we've seen in his career so far. And it also meant that Decathlon AG2R finished in 3rd place in the team classification, and them by also getting money from that as well. Very strong performance by them and by Ben O'Connor in his final Grand Tour for the team. And of course you can check out our transfer talk if you want to know more about his move to Jayco-AlUla next year. Nevertheless, coming into our 2nd place, and that is UAE Team Emirates, who have been dominating in the Grand Tours this year. Alas, here in the Vuelta España, they couldn't complete the set, but they do take home 140,230 euros, which was a great performance to finishing 2nd place. That was principally down to Marc Soler, who got the most money of 39,615 euros after he was up there in plenty of moves and even winning the stage up Lagos de Covadonga after being in the break and finishing 3rd place a number of times as well, and 2nd in the Manson's Jersey classification, behind his teammate of Jay Vine, who got that classification and is also the 2nd place rider in the money competition within the team at 32,205 euros. But what could have been for this team, as they did lose Joao Almeida, who's sitting very high up and looked very strong as well. And the team of course had one rider in the top 10, and that was Pavel Sivakov, who managed to finish in 9th place, and also Adam Yates, who finished in 12th place. But quite impressive that the team finished 2nd place despite not having any riders in the top 5. And of course Brandon McNulty, when he managed to take a stage win. You can also see the amount of money so many riders are getting is really a testament to how good this team was, and they did win the team classification as well. Now coming into number 1, and that is the team that probably would have won the team classification if it wasn't for some last minute food poisoning, and that is Redbull Bora Hansgrohe, who takes home 247,460 euros in total. And of course this predominantly comes down to Primož Roglič, who bagged 203,405 euros in total, made up of not only his GC win, but also winning stage 4, winning stage 8, and winning stage 19, even finishing 3rd up the Pico Blanco and 2nd on the final stage. And even he managed to finish 2nd in the points classification behind Caden Groves. His teammate Florian Lipovic also finished high up there with 20,890 euros in prize money after finishing 7th and finishing 2nd in the youth classification as well. And Vlasov getting 13,995 euros. But Primož Roglič and Redbull Bora Hansgrohe are going to be very happy about this. The new signing and the gamble that they took on him has been repaid, and Primož Roglič takes his 4th Vuelta España win of his career. But anyways, with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and why not check out our 2 other team prize breakdowns of the Giro and the Tour this year as well, and you might be a bit surprised of who's number 1 and number 2 in those ones as well. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you around.